Well, hello. You are back for an episode of Beauties Talking Business from your hosts, AnDrea Pettingill at Shine with Drea and Jenny at Jenny A. Hansen. Today we are going to be covering the topic of work-life balance. Let's get started.
Hi, I'm Jenny and this is AnDrea and we are Beauties Talking Business. You can find us over at beautiestalkingbusiness.com. You can also find me all over social media at Jenny A. Hansen. We love Snapchat. We didn't snap, we have to snap. And all over online. I also have a site where I work with other entrepreneurs and product developers and meditations, things like that at jennyhansen.com. But this is Beauties Talking Business, where we talk to the nail and beauty professionals of the world about our experience and things that we have learned along the way through our journey. Drea, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello, beautiful people. My name is AnDrea Pettingill. You can find me everywhere at Shine with Drea. And I, along with Jenny, we've had years of experience in the beauty industry. I've had 10 years plus or minus a little bit, and love the industry. I love being a part of this community of Beauties Talking Business and giving back to the industry. And, you know, we talk a lot on the show about the struggles that we have found and kind of been through and come out the other side of. And we want to share those experiences. We want to share those tips, those tricks, those things that could inspire the next generation of nail professionals, beauty professionals, or just entrepreneurs coming into the scene of, doing things similar to what we have. So we have a really fun topic today, Jenny. We are both like, so excited to talk about this when we were chatting earlier, don't you think?
We're excited. We're like, ooh, it's juicy.
Good stuff.
But yeah, today we're going to be talking about work and life balance. So this is something that everybody struggles with. And especially, I think, as a beauty professional, you're in charge. Most of us are in charge of our own clients, our own schedules, our own time. And dealing with all of that and running our own businesses, even if you have one client or you have 50, we're pretty much like dealing with our own businesses. And so finding that balance between work, family, home, self-care, all of that can be huge. And so we're going to touch on that today.
Yeah, Jenny and I both have experience as like booth renters. Jenny has a lot of other types of like commission salon, other types of things. I'm mostly like, I speak to the booth renter because that's what is very recognized in my area. That's what I've done a lot of. And so that's very much like you're your own. You got to handle the schedule. You got to balance everything out. You get to say yes or no to what client. You get to say yes or no to what family event so that you can work. And, you know, to be honest, this has been a constant struggle for me like recently. And so I'm really excited to talk about it because it's it clarifies what's going on for you and helps you be like, okay, let's reconnect to what's important and let's, figure out what's not working. So
right, exactly. So if you know us, we are woo woo, and we are going to set a quick intention today. Deep breath. I just want to settle down into this energy, root and ground. My intention is to create a safe and peaceful space for everyone watching this and our community of beauties as we sit and we discuss this very important topic, that those who are meant to hear it will hear it, and that we are able to be clear in delivering our message to others, and that maybe we can help some people really learn from maybe some mistakes that we've made. So that is my intent for today. So
I love it.
Thank you. It is done. It is done. It is done.
I always want to add to your intention. I always want to be like, and what I was going to say to it was just to be like, I hope, and my intention is that, families and lives can be blessed and find balance and peace through any little nugget that we can share, because to me, it all roots back to the importance of the family. And that's why we feel that pull and that struggle when we're like, fighting against our work passion, like we love it so much, is because we love our family just as much, if not more. And so, you know, if we can like bring that intention of peace and healing into families, that we can feel valued and feel that we are where we need to be, whenever we are, where exactly where we are, it is where we're supposed to be. So
Ooh, that's good. See, and it's like the reason I had someone ask once why we did this. They're like, "Are you praying?" Do you remember that?
oh yeah, I remember that.
I was like, "No, this is just to if you want to be successful with anything, you got to know where you're going." And so
Yeah.
this is something that I think is important is you take the time, and this can actually segue into our episode, I think, but if you actually take the time to really intend on what you're trying to say or what you're trying to do and know the end result, that's when I feel like the inspiration comes. And so when we do this, I feel like it gets us in a good place of inspiration where we can just speak from the heart and speak from love and just let it flow.
And that's where we would much rather be, in that space, because we have been talking for the past, you know, almost hour, and we have been preparing for this episode today, but we would much rather, you know, let it flow exactly what, you know, if we got to throw away our notes and just like let flow what needs to be heard by you, you know, we'd much rather prefer that. So you can tell our energy shifted, and that's why we do it, is because we're all over the place, and then it plugs us in, essentially. It plugs us into what needs to be, you know, communicated. So
exactly.
Let's get going, Jenny.
Let's get going. Do you want to start with the first topic, or like just go through your three and then I'll go through my three?
So yeah, so my main thing about balancing the craziness of life and schedule is to schedule. My main thing is to schedule everything. I almost said Danielle Ford because she's amazing too, but help me out. Who says this thing I'm about to say? Marie Forleo.
An interview with Danielle Ford, which is in our replay. So like you guys should go watch that.
But Marie Forleo always says, if it's not scheduled, it doesn't exist. And so this can like really like ruffle people's feathers when it has to do with like scheduling things like, oh, this is when I'm going to have a date with my husband, or this is when I'm going to like play with my kids. But, and we'll talk about that later. But one thing that I do is I schedule everything. My little trick is to use Google Calendar, and I color coordinate the different sections of my life. I literally have, like, I know that blue is I'm in the salon, yellow is self-love because yellow is my favorite color. So that means I'm doing things like my salon services, getting my eyelashes done, me time, like just, you know, the things I do to take care of myself, self-care. And then I also have, you know, service, the things I do for my community. I also have, I have date night on my schedule, you know, just I color coordinate everything so that I can like at a glance I can see how like where the balance is going on in my day. So scheduling everything is really important. Yeah. Why do you think so, Jenny?
I scribble.
This is a very important point. If you have a different personality type, you got to figure out what works for you, but you got to do something. Look at that.
This is my life. Can you guys see? There's no, like, literally scribble. No
Scribble. Yeah.
But this makes sense to my brain.
Exactly.
And this is something that is, when I write something down, it sticks. Mm-hmm. So very rarely, very, very rarely do I need to remember something once it's written down. And because there's something about it that it just stays in my mind, and it's just a different personality type, different personality trait. Because even if I put something in my phone, or I've tried using Google Calendar, Drea, and I'm like, and I won't remember it. And then I'll look and then I'll think, but if I write something down, it's in there. Yeah. And so I also will like literally just, so I know that because I'm writing it down, I probably won't have to look at it again. Yeah. But I will write it down, and so it'll be messy, it'll be scribbly, you probably can't even read my handwriting, but it's there. But I do with like important events when I'm working with like other people too, that's something I'll schedule and I'll put on the calendar. But I can't, for me, I can't put it like in a digital place. It has to be on a paper calendar.
Yeah. I think the important thing is that you pick something and use it consistently. And you got to get past the uncomfortable stage of it's not working before it will work. You know,
Right.
everything that you are starting something new, it feels like it's just hard at first because you haven't done it before. You're creating a new pathway in your brain that this is how we do it now. And you just got to get the consistency and get going with it.
Ooh, this brings something up for me. So I used to feel a lot of shame around this because I used to think if I'm not perfectly organized in like my calendar and my scheduling, that something was wrong with me. And so I literally was just like, screw that, and found a way to make it work for me. So I still schedule things, and I have to schedule things, and I have to block out times, but I have to have pen to paper, you know, like, and where Drea, she's like, I have it digital and color coordinated. I have colored markers, but it's on a paper. So it just depends on how your personality, but either way, if it's not scheduled, it's not real.
Yeah.
So good. So
the shame that comes up is just a distraction from your growth. Like that's just something that's trying to distract you from being successful. Like don't give that a second thought, return to sender, like just honor what works for you, you know. And I don't know if this is your next topic, but the part about the schedule that is so important is to honor your schedule. And I'm gonna let you talk about that, Jenny.
Okay, so yeah, honoring your schedule, and I actually just closed our notes, but you know.
So I know it sounds like we're repeating the same thing, but this is like the reason it's different is like because you can have a schedule and like this is how the week's gonna go, but we all know that stuff comes up.
Yeah, exactly. That's funny because I wrote everything down and then I closed my book and now I can't don't know where it is, but I remember. But yeah, honoring your schedule and making sure that you're keeping that true to yourself is really important. Yes, if things come up and adjustments need to happen, don't be like, and like go all crazy about it. Just let it flow a little bit more from you, and just know that because if stuff comes up and that rattles the crap out of you, then that's probably some deeper controlling things.
Yeah, there's probably some deeper limiting beliefs coming up that you're not, you know, that you're gonna attach to, oh, it's because my life is crazy and it's scheduled and I have to stop doing everything, but you're not addressing the real issue. Yeah.
So just like be flowing and be able to accommodate and adjust, but at the same time really honor that schedule. So like your self-care, your time with your partner or your family or whatever you are, so you're scheduling that means a lot to you, that or service in your community, whatever that is, just really honor it and take care of it. And then maybe you could set an intent, this is just an idea, that once you schedule it, that it's something that will be respected. So not to schedule lightly.
Yeah, and I think respect is a big thing because, and this comes up with clients a lot of the time, because if you don't respect it, they won't respect it. If you have clients that are like, oh, I broke a nail, or oh, I have a wedding or something I need to go to, can you sneak me in? And you know, there's the exceptions, but there is also, oh, I can't sneak you in on Saturday because like this day I'm going out of town with my family, or like I'm, you know, this is a family day thing, but you can come earlier. Like you got to honor your boundaries, but then, you know, also find the flexibility that honors both, that kind of brings balance to that, you know.
Right.
Because there can be times when you, oh yeah, I'll just sneak them in. But if it happens every single time, or if you don't explain to them, I'm really going out of my way and I'm really breaking my own rules for this so that I can get you in, and just be like, so next time, you know, try to work around a better time for me or whatever. But the respect that you show it is what's going to help teach your client to respect your appointment times.
Exactly. It goes back to you teach people how to treat you thing, which it is. It's just so Anyway, so the next. Do you want to go to the next one or?
So my next one is being present. Because we're talking about life balance,
So good. I need to hear this.
Yeah. So the reason I bring this one up is because we can get so hard on ourselves that we're not spending enough time with our family. Because I mean, if you're watching this, you're like us. And if you're like us, then you're really passionate about your work. And you really love working so much.
If you're watching this, you're like us. And
it's just true. It's just true because we like attracts like, and here we are, ladies. We are Beauties talking business.
And we get you.
We get you so much. And we know you love your job and you love taking care of your clients. And then you feel guilty because, you didn't go to this event with your family. But if you're not present with your clients, if you're not present with your family, it doesn't matter the longevity of the time you spend with them. So what I'm trying to say is like, you can work like 40 hours a week and you can be with your family like in the evenings or just like only on certain times and, whatever's left over. And you can still have a balanced, very successful connections in life if the quality of the time you're spending with them is like laser focused on them. You're not on your phone while your kids are trying to talk to you. You're not, both, watching two different shows in two different rooms, you and your husband. We do that a lot. I'm speaking from experience here. So I love that you're flashing your beautiful nails because they're super cute.
I know. You guys, I did my nails.
And they like match your lipstick.
And I'm like, so it's like I feel like I got a new ring. I'm like,
this is gonna. So, and anyways, if you're not being, taking that time to really have quality time, like really, are you worrying about work while you're at home? Are you worrying about home while you're at work? That's why when I see my schedule, when I glance at it, my brain does this thing where it knows that everything will be okay because I have scheduled time to worry about that later. You know what I mean? Like I can be present and I can be here.
That's good. I love that. And that's good too, because I'm so guilty of this too. Like so guilty of the fact that I will not be super present. So in my morning meditation and my morning prayer ritual practice that I do, that is something I will say in the day, and it helps me. And I will literally say, today help me to remove all fear, worry, and anxiety, and to be completely present in each and every moment that I'm in. And just kind of again setting the intent and voicing that, then there's a part of me that knows that's taken care of. Okay. And then when I'm with my husband and with my kids, then that's time that I need to just be really present with them, because I'll have clients text me like on the weekends or at night, and it is sometimes really hard. Like let's say I get a text on like a Sunday and I have a boundary not to work Saturdays or Sundays, and if I get a text on like a Saturday or a Sunday that's like, hey, can you I'm looking for a new nail tech and can you get me in? I'm like itching. Like
this happened to me last weekend, and it was the easiest thing. My client was like, hey, tell me what time my appointment is. And I could have just been like, oh, it's at this time. And I was like, no, I'm going to text her back Monday morning. And I did it. I was like, I'm glad, because it didn't matter either way. Her appointment wasn't until later in the week, but I just like left it at the top of my to-do list for Monday morning. And then I text her Monday morning, and that just reminds her that don't expect to hear from me on Sunday.
Exactly.
Don't expect it.
Exactly. That's so good. So
so next time she won't text me on Sunday.
She knows that if she does, that she's probably not going to get a response.
Yeah.
Monday. So it's good. So honoring that. My next topic is I can't read my writing. But it's we already talked about honoring everything, but my next one is to really also not go into shame and honoring your natural ebbs and flows with work. That last week when Drea had when she had a family thing come up that she had to handle, I talked a little bit about like wanting to quit your job and like having moments where you're just like and you're over it, and then you have moments where you're really excited. That's a perfect example of like an ebb and a flow of what you're doing. And also as a creative person, this is naturally organically going to happen. I think everybody does this, but I used to have these times where I would have so much energy and motivation to get a lot done, and I would kind of not really respect it very much, and then I would crash a little and not have as much energy and motivation to really be on top of the things I needed to be on top of and get stuff done. And then I would try to force it, which took more energy. And so one thing I think is really important is that if you feel like this wave, and I'm a water sign, so this is like this is what makes sense to me. But if you feel like a wave of motivation, inspiration, let's get things done, have some energy, like a wave of energy to focus and get things done, or creativity coming out, allow it to come out and get it done, and just really kind of ride that wave a little bit. And then whenever you do go into that part where you start to kind of retract and you're like, okay, time to rest, don't try to force things that need to be done, and really just take a couple days to just like, Netflix for 2 days or whatever that looks like for you, and just rest and be okay with it, and know that this is your body's natural rhythm. And also to pay attention to the change of the seasons, because there's things that affect us that people are probably like, whatever, that's crazy. You have your to-dos, you got to get them done. There are certain things that you have to do every day, you know what I mean? But I'm talking about kind of the extra stuff as a creative entrepreneur that can wait, or that you can also delegate or whatever. But also when there's like a change of the seasons too, or like maybe the weather or a storm's coming or whatever that is, you'll kind of feel these different ebbs and flows, and you're like, what is going on with me? It's not you. It's just like your animal instinct.
Yeah.
I can't explain it.
Well, I think that's so perfect, because we're talking about a schedule, we're talking about life balance, and we're like, oh, family, oh, work. Sometimes there's this ebb and flow that happens. It's like, forget work, like go to bare minimum, put that on autopilot so you can focus on family. That's the thing, that there's no perfect schedule or anything.
That's
like
what we were talking about, that real balance, it doesn't exist.
Like here's some tips and tricks for like when you're really in creation mode and things are going really well, and something to have a goal to come back to continue to course correct. But throw it out the window. Sometimes it just doesn't work. And that's totally okay. It's okay. And it helps to like know where you're going and the course correct, to have something to come back to. But you got to forgive yourself quickly when you're at that, like that ebb of like, it's not working right now. And, all I can do is this bare minimum. Right. And it's just that season, and this too will pass,
I had someone explain to me once that life is all about circles, and that everything will always comes full circle. And it's so true. And that stuck with me, like just because even, like this just applies to everywhere, even outside of work. But let's say I'm feeling kind of and I'm in a position now where if I have clients scheduled and booked, then, of course I'm going to show up and I'm going to be present and do the best I can. But then I have people who are like wanting to schedule like a couple like days out, and I'm like feeling like I need some rest, then I'm full. Do you know what I mean? And I'll take a day. I won't say, oh, it's my day off. I'll just be like, I'm sorry, I'm booked that day, because I know I need a day.
Exactly.
So that's another good one. Do you have one more tip and then we'll wrap it up?
I think I hit all of mine, actually.
I have one more. And this is
go ahead.
Okay, yeah, work and using work as a distraction to not take care of yourself or your family or your life.
Yes. Jenny and I were talking and we both have done this, so we know you have too. And, it comes up like you just find yourself like, whoa, I'm like really, really using work a ton right now. And you kind of got to step back and it's the fights at home and it's the like upset kids that are that perfect warning sign for you to like be like, warning, warning. Yeah, right.
Can I just tell you real quick a fast story? My daughter, she just turned 8, so she's a lot more like cognitive, because at 7 they kind of become a lot more cognitive with
Yeah.
things. And I was on my computer and I'm like, and like Dre and I both have blogs and we have our salon business, we have our blogs, we have our social media presence and our online presence we do. And then we have Beauties Talking Business. So we're busy women, right? Like us all. And I was trying to get something done on the computer and my daughter wanted to ask me a question about something. And I was like, just a minute, honey. And she goes, Mom, and she puts her hands on her hips. That computer is not more important than your children.
Ouch.
Ouch. Ouch.
Yeah.
How's that for a reflection? I was like, it's like, no, you're right, honey. Nothing is more important than you and the family. And it was just that reminder of this is what she's seeing in this moment.
Yeah.
And I will use work to check out because we're all kind of secret workaholics.
Well, there's so much that could be done, but does it have to be done? You know what I mean? And so that's the perfect point that you brought up. We avoid the inner stuff. Like maybe something might be coming up for you about your relationship and you don't want to face it or handle it. Or really, the thing is you don't want to really feel it. We avoid feeling it deeply because we're scared of what that will mean or, what else will happen. And, in all of like my like inner work that I do with people, I'm always like, emotions are our biggest teachers. If it's coming up for someone else in your life, then you need to listen to those emotions from them and you need to listen to what that does to your emotions because it's helping you become your greatest version of yourself. Right. And, it's important,
Same thing with my husband and I, we need to do more date nights or, have these like uncomfortable conversations we don't want to have. And we're like, oh, we'll talk about it when the kids go to bed. And then I'm like,
it doesn't happen. That's why prioritizing a date night and making it non-negotiable is really powerful. Even if you just give it a try for like a month, like every Friday is date night. This is happening, non-negotiable.
Non-negotiable. I love that. Oh my goodness, a huge like swarm of these beautiful birds just flew right.
Oh, cute.
So that was just beautiful. Like, anyway, it's a good omen.
Awesome.
So, but those are all our topics. We hit all points. I'm so proud of us.
So, I was glancing over mine to make sure. That's all the ones that I had.
The ones I had too. And I also think that there's this woman, her name's Kim Flynn, and she lives in Utah. She's a business coach, and she does like if I had, 20 grand to hire a business coach, she would be it. But
I know who, she's awesome. I have her book.
She's amazing. She wrote a book. I need to buy it. Anyway, she has this blog. It's really good, but I've been following her for a while, but one of the first things that she ever taught was like a pyramid, and to go backwards. And so the most time you should be scheduling is your spiritual self-care time. Next, you want to go into, there's spirit, self-care, like beauty, fitness, health, salon days, whatever that is, then spouse, then children, then work, then like finances, and then stuff. So stuff is like the little baby part of the pyramid, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And stuff is like running errands, grocery store, cleaning, whatever. Yeah. And that shift of thinking was a huge thing. So
it's such a like put your oxygen mask on first, right? It's like, hey, you need to have a firm foundation so that all these other things can stay up in the triangle. Do you know what I mean? Or else they'll all come falling down.
Yeah. And if you don't take care of yourself, then your clients are going to sense that, and they're not getting
Oh
the
yeah.
version of yourself, and they're showing up for you just as much as they're showing up for your work. It's really more about you that they're vibing with. And so I think, I'm not saying do crappy work, I'm just saying like that they appreciate who you are and the connection that you have with them. So if you're not taking care of yourself, your clients are going to read that, and they could also internalize it thinking something's wrong with them, or just be like, what's wrong with this girl?
Yeah.
Or guy. And so it's like, just really make sure you're taking care of yourself and showing up, being present in the best version of who you are.
I love that. That's so true. Show up. You know, your clients totally want you, and that's part of the quality time of when you're with your clients. You know, if you're worried about the home stuff and everything else, you're not you in your 100% best version for them at that moment. So that's wonderful. Yeah.
Well, you guys, that's it. Like for our show.
Awesome.
And then for like, Drea's gonna sign us off and do a little quick closing intent, but I just want to say, like, make sure that you catch us every Monday. We have our video show, beautiestalkingbusiness.com. If you're not already on the email list, hop over on the email list, because we make sure that you are so in the know over on there, and it's a lot easier too. We also have a Facebook group called Beauties Talking Business, and if you go to beautiestalkingbusiness.com, there's a little tab called Community. You can click on that and it'll take you straight to the Facebook group. And so we would love to have you join and come be a part of our community of beauties.
Yes.
And thank you so much for watching. And again, my name is Jenny, and I'm at Jenny A. Hansen, and also at JennyHansen.com. Thank you.
And I'm AnDrea Pettingill. You can find me everywhere at Shine with Drea. And we hope that you were able to find some tips that you can take home with you and take to the salon with you, and plug in some amazing things that will help you to have balance in your life, in your work, in your self-care, in your relationships. And remember that you have the choice within you to create what you want your life to be like, and pay attention to those things in your experience and those relationships that are telling you where you need to balance things out. And just, we hope that you can reach out to us on the Facebook page if you have any questions or want to dive deeper into any of these topics, want to get more into any other things. Did you have a thing, Jenny, to say?
I just remembered that we forgot to tell them that we are going to do once a month, probably. Do you think the last week of the month? Maybe.
Yeah.
Like the last week of the month, we're going to be doing Q&As, and it's going to be live chat broadcasts. We're going to do Q&As once a month. So if you have questions that you want to submit to, go over to the website. In the contact, there's a form, or you can email us at info@beautiestalkingbusiness.com, or go to the Facebook page, because that's a lot easier. We all know that's easier.
Yeah. So perfect. Okay. So with that, thank you for watching, and we hope that you can go and shine today.
Thank you so much for watching this week's episode. We really hope you enjoyed it. Again, you can find Drea at Shine with Drea, and me, Jenny, at Jenny A. Hansen. So go over to beautiestalkingbusiness.com for more information, and make sure you join our Facebook group. We would love to have you. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, and join that email list over on beautiestalkingbusiness.com so that we can stay in touch. Lots of love, Drea and Jenny.